Denmark, one of the most secular nations on earth, a country where church attendance has plummeted and where religion is treated as a strictly private matter. Yet in this ultra-modern liberal society, something unexpected is happening. Danes, ethnic Danes, are converting to Islam, and Islam has become Denmark's largest religious minority, present not just in Copenhagen, but in small towns and rural villages across the country. This is the story of how a historically Christian nation quietly became home to hundreds of thousands of Muslims. To understand this transformation, we need to start with context. Denmark is one of the most secularized societies in the world. For most Danes, religion plays little role in daily life. The Danish Lutheran Church still exists as a state-supported institution, but church attendance is low and Christianity functions more as cultural heritage than active belief. Public life operates entirely independent of religious influence. Politics, education, social norms, all are shaped by secular liberal values. In this environment, religious identity isn't just private, it's almost invisible. So when Islam began to grow in Denmark starting in the late 20th century, it entered a society where religion itself had already lost its public power. This created a unique dynamic. Islam wasn't arriving in a religiously active country. It was arriving in a society that had moved beyond religion as a social force. Yet, despite this, Islam took root and became visible in ways that no other minority faith had. Denmark doesn't officially register citizens by religion, so exact numbers don't exist. But based on academic research and demographic studies, Muslims are estimated to make up 4 to 5% of Denmark's population as of 2026, roughly 280,000 to 300,000 people. Source: that makes Islam the largest religious minority in the country, larger than any other faith community outside the Danish Lutheran Church. And this population is diverse: Turkish and Pakistani Muslims, whose families arrived decades ago as labor migrants, Somali, Iraqi, Syrian and Afghan Muslims, many who came as refugees, Bosnian and Kosovar Muslims from the former Yugoslavia, and a small but steady number of ethnic Danish converts. Approximately 47% of Denmark's Muslims live in Greater Copenhagen, with significant communities in Aarhus, 9.4%, and Odense, 5.5%. But Muslims also live in small towns and rural areas, places that rarely appear in headlines, but where Islam has quietly become part of everyday life. Norrebro, a district in northwestern Copenhagen, is Denmark's most visibly Muslim neighborhood. It's multicultural, working class and home to mosques, Islamic centers, halal shops and community organizations. The Hamad bin Khalifa Civilization Center, also known as the Grand Mosque of Copenhagen, opened in 2014 and is Denmark's first purpose-built mosque. The Imam Ali Mosque, Denmark's largest mosque and the only Shia mosque in the country, opened in 2015. These institutions aren't just places of worship, they're community hubs, offering educational programs, youth services, social support, and interfaith dialogue. In Aarhus, Denmark's second largest city, Muslims are active in academic, professional, and civic life. Smaller cities like Odense and Aalborg also have established Muslim communities integrated into local labor markets, working in healthcare, industry, education, and public services. But what's less known is that Muslims also live in Denmark's rural areas, small towns and villages where they represent a tiny minority. The term Islamic villages doesn't mean villages where Muslims are the majority. It refers to small rural communities where Muslim families have settled long-term, often as a very small minority. In these places, formal Islamic infrastructure barely exists. There are no mosques, no Islamic schools, no organized community centers. Religious practice happens at home, or families travel to nearby towns for Friday prayers and major holidays like Eid. Children attend public Danish schools, where they're often the only Muslims in their class. They speak Danish fluently, it's their first language, and they navigate life in a way that blends Danish culture with Islamic identity. For major religious events, families often drive to Copenhagen or Aarhus to join larger congregations. This rural Muslim experience is quiet, low profile, and largely invisible to outsiders. It's not organized, it's not political, it's just families living their lives, raising children, working, maintaining their faith privately in a secular society. One of the most interesting and least discussed aspects of Islam in Denmark is conversion. Ethnic Danes with no Muslim family background are converting to Islam. According to 2017 estimates, close to 3,800 Danish Muslims were converts. Other sources from earlier years suggested numbers between 5,000 to 6,000. These aren't mass movements, but they represent a steady, continuous trend. So why do Danes convert? Reason number one, spiritual search. Many describe a long journey of seeking meaning in a secular society. Denmark offers material comfort, safety and freedom, but for some it feels spiritually empty. Islam provides structure, clear beliefs, daily rituals, moral guidance. Reason number two, intellectual appeal. Some converts engage deeply with Islamic theology, ethics and philosophy, approaching it as a rational belief system rather than a cultural identity. Reason number three, personal relationships. Friendships or marriages with Muslims introduce people to Islamic practice in everyday contexts. Conversion is often gradual, shaped by observation, conversation, and trust over time. Reason number four, life transitions. Marriage, parenthood, illness, or personal crisis often prompt deeper reflection on faith and purpose. Despite legal protections for religious freedom, Islamophobia is a persistent reality in Denmark. Challenge number one. Employment and housing discrimination studies show that Muslims, especially those with Muslim names or visible religious appearance, face barriers in job markets and housing. Challenge 2. Public discourse. Islam is frequently discussed in media and politics not as a religion, but as a social problem linked to integration, security, or cultural conflict. Challenge answer 3. Quran burnings. Between 2023 and 2024, Denmark experienced multiple incidents of Quran burnings by far-right extremists. These acts, legally protected under free speech laws, sparked international outrage and created deep emotional distress for Danish Muslims. In December 2023, Denmark's parliament passed a law banning the public desecration of religious texts, effectively criminalizing Quran burnings. For many Muslims, these incidents created a sense of symbolic insecurity, even when physical safety wasn't directly threatened. Challenge number 4. Convert experiences. Danish converts often face unique social pressure. Some practice Islam privately to avoid family tension or workplace stigma. Others navigate their identity quietly, balancing Danish cultural norms with Islamic practice. By 2026, a new generation of Muslims has come of age in Denmark. They were born in Denmark. They speak Danish as their first language. They were educated in Danish schools. For many, being Muslim and being Danish are not contradictory. They're overlapping identities. This generation is more confident, more visible, and more engaged in Danish society than their parents. They work in diverse professions: healthcare, education, tech, media, civil service. They participate in civic organizations, cultural production, journalism, and advocacy. And they increasingly reject the idea that they must choose between being Danish or being Muslim. Their religious practice is often flexible, shaped by personal choice rather than rigid community expectations. Many emphasize ethics, personal spirituality, and social justice over formal religious authority. This generation represents a shift from defensive identity politics toward confident participation in mainstream institutions. So how does Islam function in one of the world's most secular societies? The answer is quietly, pragmatically, and privately. Muslims in Denmark practice their faith within a framework that values individualism, equality, and secular governance. Religious expression is protected by law, but culturally it's expected to remain personal rather than public. This creates a unique form of Islamic life. Mosques operate openly but aren't highly visible in public landscapes. Religious education happens within families or community organizations, not public schools. Islamic holidays are celebrated privately, not as national events. At the same time, Muslims contribute to Danish society as workers, taxpayers, parents, and citizens. They navigate a culture that is both legally tolerant and socially skeptical of religion, and they adapt, sometimes by practicing quietly, sometimes by engaging publicly, and often by finding a balance between the two. Denmark's experience with Islam reveals something important about modern Europe. Religious diversity doesn't require state-sponsored multiculturalism to exist. Even in a hyper-secular, historically homogeneous society, Islam has become a lasting presence. It exists not through political power or institutional dominance, but through individual choice, family life, and quiet persistence. The story of Islam in Denmark is not one of conquest or conflict. It's a story of migration, settlement, conversion, and adaptation. It shows that faith communities can survive and even grow in environments that are indifferent or even hostile to religion. And it raises deeper questions. Can liberal democracies fully accept religious minorities when those minorities practice visibly? How do individuals maintain faith in societies that treat religion as outdated? What does belonging mean when identity is contested? Denmark doesn't have all the answers, but it's a case study in how secular societies and religious minorities navigate coexistence in the 21st century. From Copenhagen's mosques to Denmark's rural villages, Islam has become part of the Danish landscape, not loudly, not dominantly, but present. For ethnic Danes converting to Islam, it's a personal spiritual journey. For second-generation Muslims, it's about belonging to a country they've always called home. And for all of them, it's about navigating identity in a world that rarely makes space for complexity. This is the quiet reality of Islam in Denmark. If this story gave you a new perspective, support the channel by liking,